Peace, peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? How everybody feeling on this wonderful Thursday? Hopefully, everybody feeling good, healthy, positive, productive, all that good stuff, man. I'm gonna give y'all about 3 or 5 minutes to tap in with the kid before I start venting on the subject matter today. Gotta hit y'all with some of that energy that I know y'all been lacking and missing. So it's gonna be a good one. But tap in, let me know how we living and feeling on this wonderful Thursday. What's the word, man? Y'all know how I get down, man. Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. Tell me something good, man. Let me know something. Give me some good energy. What's happening? What's the word? How my people's feeling and living on this wonderful Thursday, man? Everything is peaceful on this side of town, man. We all good. Can't complain, or at least we could, but it won't do any good. So we don't even deal with that energy. But what's the word, man? How we living? How we feeling? Tap in with me, man. Give y'all about 5 minutes before I get on my rant vibes today, man. I'm on that rant, venting, TED talking type of vibe today. So I may not get to all the comments today like I usually do because I might lose myself in this vent and this rant that I got going on. Hey, Tony, what's happening? Peace, peace. Hey, keep it peace, keep it centered, keep it balanced, man. Y'all know it. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the vibes. Good vibes, productive vibes, efficient vibes. That's the energy that you need to surround yourself with. That's the only energy you need to be entertaining at this stage in the game. Magic, what's happening? Tony, peace, what's happening? What's the word, my good brothers? What's the word, my good sisters? What's happening? Tap in. Let me know something. Hopefully, y'all being productive today, man. Getting them things done. Prioritizing. Getting them priorities in order. All that. Clocks in. Chris, what's happening? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling? We tapped in, man. We tapped in on some powerful vibes today. What's happening? Ray, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling? I'm out here trying to neutralize the negative energy out here. I'm the neutralizer of all this negativity, all this unproductive energy. I'm the neutralizer for all that. I'm the neutralizer for that. That lazy energy. See, we don't entertain any of that. That complaining type of energy, we don't entertain any of that. We neutralize it though. Because it's a lot of that energy out here. So we need folks to come out and neutralize it. We can't just allow social media to be overran by all this negativity, all this toxicity. So those of us that have a different type of energy, we got to neutralize it. We got to get on here and we got to spread that empowering energy, that powerful energy, that productive energy. That's what we got to do. And we got to do it consistently, just like folks get on here and consistently put the negative energy into the atmosphere, into these social media platforms. That's what we got to do. Javon, what's happening? Clocks in. Let's go. Get it up. Speak it like you done already did it. You already got it. MC, what's happening? What's happening? Yeah, hey, we the great neutralizers out here. All that negativity, man. The only thing we can come do is neutralize it. Neutralize it, man. We at war right now with the toxic energy, with the toxic content. It's a war going on out here. Every time you get on social media, man, you got to go to war with the negative content, with the toxic content, because they trying to push it all in your face. They trying to make it bombard your algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So we always at war with this negative and toxic energy. No matter how careful you are with selecting your content, they still try to force it down your throat. So we at war with this negative energy. We got to get to a point where it's little to no negative energy out here. So that's how we gonna neutralize it. If we don't put the energy out here, then they can't keep trying to put it in our faces. You know what I'm saying? They can't do it. So I'm gonna make it my duty to come on here every time that I'm gonna come on here as consistently as possible and neutralize that trash energy. And y'all gotta share this type of energy as many times as you possibly can. That's the only way we can do it. Repetition is king. Hey, Rafi, what's happening? Repetition is king. If we want to change the trajectory of our people, we gotta be more mindful and conscious of what we share, what we entertain, what we like. You know what I'm saying? Every time you like something, every time you look at something, they make that creep into your algorithm. All of this is important. So we got to be mindful of what we look at, what we share, what we comment on, what we think, what we speak out loud around our devices. They using all of that against us. So we just got to put good energy into the atmosphere. We got to constantly put good energy into the atmosphere, for real. Because they tapped into everything we doing. They pay attention to everything. They see what you commenting on. You know, they see what you liking when you think nobody else saw it. You know, so when your algorithm full of random nonsense, it's because you out here liking the random nonsense. You know, so we got to, be more mindful of what we own out here. Justin, what's happening? Savetta, Peace, what's happening? Devin, what's happening? Be more mindful, you know, because we got to combat all this nonsense out here, man. We got to combat it. It's a lot of nonsense out here, and instead of us sitting back being quiet, we got to start combating it. You know what I'm saying, man? It's a lot of people that be getting on these platforms, be talking crazy. It's a lot of people in general, just in person, that be talking crazy, putting all the wrong type of energy in the atmosphere. Get from around me with that. You know, I'm G checking that type of energy. Get from around me with that. If you about to be around me talking crazy, putting some lazy energy into the atmosphere, putting toxic energy into the atmosphere, you can't be around me. You can't be around me. Flat out. Flat out. You cannot be around me. I don't need that. I don't need that in my cipher. I don't need that in my inner circle. I don't need that in my life. And y'all shouldn't need nor want that in y'all lives as well. You know, we got enough of that. And a lot of us have been in that state long enough. You know, I don't want to be in that state anymore. I done been there, done that. I done reached that lowest point from a mental perspective. I ain't trying to go back, you know, so I don't need to be around people that constantly remind me of what it's like to be in that state. Get from around me, you know, especially when you're not trying to receive this good energy. Every time you try to give them the positive or the bright side of something, they got something negative to say. Man, I'm not wasting my time with you. You want to be miserable at that point. Straight up. You want to be miserable at that point. Like for real, straight up. TZ, what's happening? Hey, Nicole's perspective, Peace, what's happening? You want to be miserable. You choosing misery at that particular point. When you get on these platforms and status after status after status after status, tweet after tweet, whatever you want, whatever you doing, it's just negativity after negativity after negativity. You choosing that, man. You choosing that. You have nobody to blame but yourself. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You don't have anything good to say about anybody. You don't have anything good to say about yourself. That's a choice you're making. So your reality will be shaped by these words that you're speaking. That's why when people are around me and they say things about themselves in a negative light, I tend to stop that. Whether you joking or not, we don't play like that. We don't put that energy in the atmosphere towards ourselves, towards other people. We out here disrespecting universal laws. Y'all know universal laws, man. We disrespecting the law of cause and effect, the law of reciprocity, all of that, man. The law of attraction. We disrespecting universal laws. Fam, these laws tell you, man. They tell you. They literally tell you that there's a consequence behind everything that you do and say. So again, you should be mindful. Not even do and say and think. So sometimes you don't even have to put the words verbally into the atmosphere. You could think them, and that's powerful enough because everything starts as a thought. You know, so a lot of times people wondering why a bunch of unfavorable situations and circumstances keep making their way towards them. It's because of your thoughts. They be like, man, I don't be saying anything bad, but you thinking it. You thinking it. Thinking it is just as powerful as saying it and doing it. Because again, everything starts there as a thought. So if you keep thinking it on a consistent basis, whether you verbally saying it or not, you're going to track what it is that you're thinking. And we understand that, you know, your reality is shaped by your most dominating thought or thoughts. So when the most dominating thought or thoughts are negative, then your reality is shaped by that. Again, you don't have to utter a word, but you thinking though. So what's the quality of those thoughts? Again, your reality, which surrounds you, which is right in front of you, that is going to give you your answer. That is going to give you your answer. What is the quality of your thinking, fam? What is the quality of your thinking? And for a lot of people, the quality of the thoughts, complete garbage. Montel, what's happening? Nicole, that's how you, hey, I'm trying to tell you, you can, your concentration and focus, all of that improves. when you begin to take breaks and, you know, fast from social media and things like that, detox and cleanse yourself from social media, you know, and then come back and be real selective with the content that you choose to entertain. All of that can happen. You'll be more productive, man. You get way more things done when you start to detox and detach from these platforms. Like straight up, you know. But hey, I'm going to war with the negative folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to war with them. It's a time for peace. It's a time for war. I'm going to war with the negative folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to war with that negative energy. I'm going to war with it because the negative people don't have any problem putting that negative energy into the atmosphere when they're around you, when they're around us. You know, so I don't have any problem putting that positive energy or putting that real energy into the atmosphere, the truth that they not gonna like to hear. Everybody want to be coddled, man. Everybody want to be baby. I ain't finna do that. I ain't about to do that. Everybody wants you to be soft with them. It's enough of that. It's enough of that. I'm going to hold you accountable for your thoughts. I'm going to hold you accountable for the reality of your life. I'm going to hold you accountable for that. I'm going to pay attention to the words that you speak on a consistent basis, and I'm going to pay attention to what you do on a consistent basis. And I'm going to tell you, you are the problem. If you don't like the way your life has turned out, or you don't like how your life is unfolding, I'm going to tell you, you are the problem. Straight up. I'm going to tell you, you are the problem. Now, what you going to do about it? I don't want to hear that blame game. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. Everybody, literally is facing some type of trauma. Everybody, fam. So we out here, everybody want to make it seem like their trauma is more important than the next person's trauma. Man, everybody has been traumatized in some way, shape, or form. Everybody got some set of problems. And I was reading the book, and it broke it down. It was like poor people have poor people problems. Rich people have rich people problems. But at the end of the day, everybody has a set of problems that they have to deal with. So I don't care what your income level is. I don't care what your upbringing was. Everybody has problems. Some people have single parent household problems. Other people have two parent household problems. Guess what? Still got problems though. Everybody got some problems that they had to deal with, that they are dealing with. Everybody. That's life. What would life be without a set of problems? What would life be without difficulty? What would life be without these things? Quit being soft. You know, we always crying about stuff that didn't happen to us and all of this and that. Something didn't happen to everybody. Again, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it going forward? Again, we not gonna baby y'all with this nonsense. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. Too short, what's happening? Leo, what's happening? Nicole, hey Nicole, you got some that know, but you got some who it might be deep down where they think they might know, but you got a lot on the surface, man. They will adamantly deny that they are the problem. Denial, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people that are in denial right now that they are not the cause. They are not the cause. They don't have anything to do with where they at right now. It's because of X, Y, and Z. Man, you got plenty of people that just stay delusional and they lost in that type of reality. And it's crazy. Both are crazy. Especially again when you examine their line of thinking. Like that, it's easy. All I got to do is talk to somebody for 5 or 10 minutes. Like a person that is not satisfied with their life, fam. All I got to do is talk to them about 5, 10 minutes. And I'm like, I see why. I see why. Man, I don't know if y'all just be analyzing, especially black people. I don't know if y'all just be analyzing the type of time that we be on, but we be having some very terrible and trash conversations amongst each other. And when I used to work at corporate America, like the average conversation was pointless. It was unproductive. It was unnecessary. It was toxic. It was gossip. When you start dealing with other cultures, the conversations be different, fam. The conversations be different. They gonna tell you not to do all that gossiping. They gonna tell you to always say less than necessary. They gonna tell you these things, fam. Only speak when you have something of value or important to say. These other, they gonna tell you these things. Get around your people, man, and we having the most mindless conversations. And wonder why we behind everybody else. And wonder why we not financially literate. Wonder why we just not as educated. Because we get around and we start goofing off and complaining and crying all day about some nonsense, about some things that we can easily change if we just shift our mindset. But then when somebody like me say that, they don't want to hear that. But then if I had beef with somebody on here, everybody want to tune in. Then if I had beef with another YouTuber and I'm going off on them, now everybody want to tune in and tap in. Oh man, they beefing. Look at that. You know, that's what we be on. Listen. Look what Kendrick Lamar's biggest track in history just about is about to be when he done came at Drake, when he done diss somebody. Like that's what we be on. Now Kendrick Lamar had plenty of great tracks. He didn't did plenty of great things. But one of his biggest tracks that's gonna go down in history is when he had to diss a dude. Tupac. Now I'm a Tupac fan. One of his biggest tracks that everybody knows, non-Tupac fans know, is Hit 'Em Up, a diss track. That's what we be on. We gravitate towards that, and we wonder why our lives reflect that type of environment, that type of atmosphere, those type of circumstances. Like for real. Lil LA Kenyatta, what's happening? So man, we like that from it's conditioning. You know what I'm saying? Part of it is conditioning and part of it is nature. But at the same time, with all of that being said, man, we just got to start being open, fam. We got to start being open. We got to practice the Bruce Lee philosophy, which he got from his, ancestors and whatnot. But we got to empty the cup, fam. We got to start emptying our cups, fam. That's another problem that black people have, man. We don't empty the cup, man. We don't. We not open to certain tactics and methods. Like we think stuff is out of reach. You know what I'm saying? Or we think stuff is just unreal. Man, just listen to some of these folks, man, that can change their lives by changing their mindset. We think it's garbage. We think it's nonsense. Like, no, literally, you can do that. Just listen, man. Be receptive. Empty the cup, man, and shut up for a second. Like, we be talking way too much, man. We be talking way too much. We don't do enough listening, especially when it comes to the folks that's out here really teaching and building. We don't tap in enough to that. We don't listen enough to that, fam. We don't listen enough. When those folks start talking, that's when we bored now. Man, who cares about being bored? Man, when you in your 40s and you talking about something boring you, at that point in time in your life, you in your 30s and 40s talking about what is boring. Man, we not 15. Who cares if something is boring? Fam, if it's going to elevate you and take you to the next level, that's the most important thing. That's the priority. I don't care how boring something is. If it's a necessity, I'm all for it. If it's going to elevate my mind, if it's going to elevate my body, I'm all for it. I don't care about boring. I don't care about being excited. I'm trying to thrive. I'm trying to elevate. I'm trying to be the best version of myself possible. And sometimes in order to do that, I have to adopt habits that may be boring. That's cool. I had enough excitement when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and so on and so forth. Had enough excitement then. Boring is the new cool. Boring is going to keep me alive longer, fam. You know what I'm saying? Boring is going to extend my lifespan. Being boring is a very cool thing. It's very healthy to be boring. When you strive to be extravagant and exotic out here, you end up broke, miserable, and unhealthy. What do they call it? Nas got the albums, man. The trilogy, man. He got King's Disease, the rich man's disease. That's what happened when we start, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you start trying to do too much. When you start trying to do too much, man, you lose yourself. You end up bankrupt, broke, in the hole, mentally and financially, because you doing too much. trying to be exotic and extravagant. Man, be boring. When you start, listen, in any realm or subject or field that you are trying to succeed in, I promise you, once you study the steps to success in that field, it's boring. When you study in financial literacy, it's boring. When you read books on investing and how to double your income, triple your income, it's boring. It's nothing fun about that information. Nothing. Trust me, I got plenty of investment books. When you read books on how to take your business to the next level, it's boring. It's not exciting information. It's not gut-wrenching information. It's boring. It's boring. You're going to read a lot of boring information to take your life to the next level. I promise you. That information is quite boring and dry. But that's what you need. You're not going to find too many. You got to be a diehard investing fan. Like, that's got to be your passion for you to like most of these investment books, especially the most popular ones. It's boring. They're going to tell you to do some very boring things, some very simple things. But what black people, we need for stuff to be mysterious. We need for stuff to be off the wall. We need for stuff to be out of this world. We can't understand how stuff can be so simple. That's the problem. That's the problem. We overlook the simple things. Man, it can't be that simple, but it is. You waiting for some extravagant response or approach to go make something happen, when at the end of the day, it's simple. Number one is get started. Just do something. Whatever you set in your mind to do, just start. That's real simple. But what we do, we wait around. We wait for circumstances to be perfect. Man, what? Never. Never are your circumstances going to reach that level of perfection that you're waiting on in order to indulge in what it is you're striving to indulge in or want to indulge in or engage in or build. Your circumstances are going to never reach that level. So the best thing you can do is just get started. Write the business plan. Brainstorm something. There's something you can do every day. You may not have the money right now. You may need some cash to get your thing off the ground. But guess what? You got your mind. So you can put a plan into motion. So then when you cultivate this plan and you focus on this plan, guess what? You concentrate and you focus on this plan. You giving that plan all your energy. Guess what's going to come to you? That money that you need because you focused. What you focus on, it grows. I always quote a rap that I did a long time ago. I said, deep consciousness results in a state of constant bliss. What you focus on, it grows. So I think accomplishments. That I'm focused on accomplishments. I'm going to create a business plan and I'm going to write the plan out as if I already then succeeded in the business. I ain't built the business yet, but I'm going to write it down as if it's already accomplished and I'm going to focus on it. So then when I focus on it every day, guess what's going to come to me? Everything that I need to make this a reality. But we're afraid to do stuff like that. We would rather focus on how broke we are. We would rather focus on what we don't have. We would rather do that and wonder why we keep attracting lack in our lives, poverty in our lives, because we always on a day-to-day basis, we focused on what we don't have. How far that's going to get you? Again, what you focus on grows. If I focus on the mindset of scarcity, if I focus on the mindset of lack, then that's what's going to grow. My poverty mindset is going to grow because on a day-to-day basis, all I'm focusing on is what I don't have. Not how I can get what I don't have. All I'm focusing on is I don't have X, Y, and Z. It's a poverty mindset. And that's going to grow. Instead of saying, how do I get X, Y, and Z? Difference in thinking. Not, I don't have X, Y, and Z. You got to shift it to a question. How do I get X, Y, and Z? And you focus on that question. You focus on that question. Fam, I gotta practice for y'all. I got some homework for y'all. This is some homework. This is something y'all need to do tonight. It's a practice that I came across. This is what you do. This is how this practice goes. Get your phones out. Get your pen and paper. Write this down. This is how it goes. This y'all homework. And the next time I tap in, I'm gonna see if y'all completed the homework. But this is what you do. You take a goal that you have, right? Whatever your top priority, whatever your biggest goal is, so you might have to brainstorm. You might have to write a few goals down, But whatever your major goal is in life right now, you phrase it in a question, right? You phrase it in a question and you give yourself a deadline. Prime example, if your goal is to increase your income by $50,000 by this time next year, this is how you phrase it. You get a piece of paper, at the top of that paper, you say, how do I increase my income by $50,000 by August 22nd, 2024? You phrase it in a question. Now, once you put the question on the top of the piece of paper, then you divide your paper up, two sides, and you go from 1 to 20. 1 to 20. After you write the question, you divide the paper up and you go from 1 to 20. And then in the 1 to 20 spaces, you are going to come up with 20 different ways to make that reality happen. So you're going to phrase it in a question. How do I increase my income by $50,000 by August 22nd, 2025? And you go from 1 to 20 and you give yourself 20 ways that you can make that not a possibility, a reality. 20 ways. So give yourself about 10, 20 minutes to write 20 different ways that you can make that goal happen by the time that you set for yourself, or by the deadline you set for yourself. That's the homework. If it's a weight loss goal, how do I lose 30 pounds in 6 months? 1 to 20, give yourself 20 ways or 20 things that you can do in order to make sure you lose the 40, 50 pounds in 6 months. That's the homework. So at the top of the piece of paper, whatever your goal is, you phrase it in a question, then you find 20 ways that you can make that a reality. So give yourself 10, 20 minutes and come up with 20 different ways to make that a reality. The first 10 ways going to come to you pretty easy. It's going to be the next 10, that last 10, that's going to be complicated. That's that homework though. That's that homework. You're going to see how powerful that mind is when you force to focus on something like that. We can come up with 5, 10 ways of how to make something a reality. We come up with 20 though. Come up with 20. Whatever your goal is, phrase it in a question. Phrase it in a question. How do I get this promotion within the next 6 months? Give yourself 20 ways to make it happen. Whatever the goal is. How do I start a business within the next 8 months? 20 ways on how to make that happen, on what you need to do to make that happen. 20 ways. And then here's the most important part. I forgot about the last part. Once you come up with the 20 different ways to make that a reality, you circle the most important. Out of those 20, there is going to be one particular way that you can make whatever your goal is a reality. You circle that one way and you focus on that one way. You do whatever that one thing is that you circle. You do that every day. You do that every day. So if your goal is to lose 50 pounds in 6 months, how do I lose 50 pounds in 6 months? And you come up with 20 ways. And let's say you feel as if the most important thing that you need to do on a day-to-day basis is adopt a raw vegan lifestyle. You circle that, and that's what you focus on. That's what you do. That's what you do. You focus on it, you focus on the question, and you focus on what you circle on a day-to-day basis, and you make it a reality. That's the homework. Bobby C, Lindell, Cool K, what's happening? Magic, I'm trying to tell you. Leo, I'm trying to tell you, I told somebody, I say, man, at this stage in my life, I ain't never bored because it's always some information for me to get. I don't know everything. I don't know nothing, to be for real. So it's always some information for me to gather. So if I'm walking around here talking about I'm bored, being bored is childish. You shouldn't be a grown adult. You know what I'm saying? Talking about you bored. That's childish. It's always something to learn out here. It's always something to learn. So when you are grown and you talking about you bored, grow up. That's childish. Pop open you a book, read something, learn something new. Learn a new vocabulary word. Anything. It's something for you to learn out here. You 35, 40 talking about you bored. What? Grow up, man. Come on, man. Pick up a book, learn something, read. Watch a documentary, anything. It's something that you don't know out here. So as long as it's something that you don't know out here, you can never be bored. It's impossible. And you will never know that you can learn something every day for the rest of your life and still die knowing absolutely nothing. So it's always something for you to learn. No such thing as boredom, especially when you an adult. No such thing. And Shannon, right, I ain't even get on the stuff to actually do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even get on the stuff to actually do. Because once you learn some things, that might lead to you doing some new things. Impossible. So when you talk about you bored out here, man, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Crazy talk. Again, like I said, grow up, man. Ain't no such thing as boredom, man. When you understand when you an adult, that don't even make sense. You bored. Learn, like I say, learn something. Go do something. Go make something happen. Tayson, you say, can you give some advice to a young and visionary dude who might get kicked out of his parents' house for having certain dreams and beliefs? Tayson, go do the homework I just said. Try to tell you. You gonna get the answers that you need. The answers are within self. Go for it. Make that a goal of yours. Because again, you already got the question. What am I to do? Literally, what you just asked me. What am I to do if I'm about to get kicked out of my parents' house for having certain dreams and beliefs? What must I do within the next 6 to 12 months to ensure that this doesn't negatively impact my life? And go from 1 to 20 and write down everything that you think you need to do in order to better your situation right now. And I promise you, your creative mind, you about to start coming up with a lot of things. You're going to start coming up with a lot of things. And then from that, you're going to circle the most important thing. I could give you a lot of advice. I can give you a lot of tips, but the best tips is going to come from yourself in that particular situation, because I'm not right there in the flesh in your situation. You know exactly who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with. You know, so I can give you some advice, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to tap into self, because you know that situation better than anyone. You know your surroundings right now better than anyone. So you got to tap in and you got to use that creative mind. You got to use that creative mind. So that's my advice. You got to tap in. You got to come up with some creative ways to approach that situation that you're dealing with. And trust me, when you focus on it, you're going to come up with some masterful ways. You're going to come up with some masterful ways. I promise you. I promise you, you will. All right, for sure. I'm trying to tell you. And you're going to come up. It's a whole process to get to the muscle up. And you have to be doing it, whatever you find to be the most important thing that will help you. Do that on a day-to-day basis. And you will be doing them, whatever the deadline you give yourself, you will be doing them by then. Straight up. Forwards, peace, what's happening? Straight up. You know? So again, we gotta start speaking life into ourselves. We gotta start just speaking life into the atmosphere in general. Man, I'm talking about negative folks. It grinds my gears, man. I don't like being around. It grinds my gears, man. For real. It grinds my gears, especially when you out here making your problems appear to be bigger than everybody else's problems. Again, like I say, everybody got problems, man. It's about how we deal with them. My problems aren't more special than your problems. You know what I'm saying? We all faced with some problems. How we gonna deal with them? How we gonna solve them? That's what builds the character. How you solving these problems? How you going about it? How you going about it? Because it's never going to be a period of time in your life where you don't have a set of problems to deal with. That's what makes life. That's what brings the excitement, to solve problems. The moment you run out of problems to solve, man, it's time to stop living at that point. You know? So again, thankful. Be thankful for the problems. Be thankful for the problems, fam. That's going to build character if you allow it to. It can also break your character if you allow it to. Again, but you have the power. So again, a problem, it can build character or it can break character. It's your choice though. And if y'all didn't read Think and Grow Rich, y'all already know. They tell you that success, like they tell you right before you reach that level of success, you probably gonna hit your lowest level. And that's where a lot of people fail. That's where a lot of people quit. What they say, stop 3 feet short of the goal. So a lot of people hit that moment of temporary defeat, or they hit that moment of defeat and they get defeated. They quit when that success is right around the corner. All they had to do was keep going. They was right there, but they couldn't take it anymore and they stopped 3 feet short. All they had to do was take a couple more steps, a couple of more steps, and the success, everything they wanted was right there, but they stopped. That's why I never stop. That's why I never stop. So especially when you're at that lowest point, that means success is right around the corner. That's what that means. That means success is right around the corner. When you at that lowest point, fam, success is right around the block. But that's where a lot of people quit. That's where a lot of people fold. Can't handle it. They can't handle that lowest of lows. They can't handle that. Man, embrace that, because I already know. When you hit that point where it can't get no worse than that, that's right and exact. Can't get no worse than this. So that means the only way I'm finna go is up. Straight up. I'm only about to go up. I didn't reach that point. That means that my success is right there. Everything that I've been grinding for is right there. So when you had that period where things be happening to you, car breaking down, people getting sick, people around you dying, all of this is happening for a reason. That success is right there. All of this stuff is happening for a reason, man. And that's not the time for you to fold. That's the time for you to that's when your mindset needs to be the strongest. That's the time your mindset needs to be at its most powerful point, right there, when all that stuff starts happening to you. When you allow your program to be positive in the midst of all of that, you about to take it to the next level. Once the storm is over, they say weather the storm. Mark, what's happening? Once the storm is over, man, you about to reach the top. But if you allow those situations, if you allow those things that happen to you to bring your mindset down, to destroy your mindset, make you more pessimistic, you back to square one. That's not the time to get in that state. That's the time to be more positive than ever, man. When everything seems like it's crumbling down around you, that's the time to be more positive. That's the time to be more optimistic. That's the time to be more powerful and methodical with your thinking, because that means something great is coming your way. You just got to go through these trials and these tribulations first. Like, man, there it is. I'm right there. I'm right there, man. All this stuff is happening because I'm right here. I'm right there. I'm within reach. So all this stuff right now is happening because it's trying to stop me from reaching that. But I'm going to reach it. Let me go ahead and knock this little stuff out real quick. Let me go ahead and weather this storm so I can go ahead and get to my goal, because it's right there. I ain't about to let this knock me off my square. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. This stuff right here is, again, temporary blockage. Let me go ahead and stiff arm and stuff, get it out the way real quick. Wop, take care of this car, take care of these folks. Go, you know what I'm saying? Celebrate the life of this person that I lost. Wop, let me knock it all out. Boom. There go my goal. It's right there. I ain't letting anything set me back. Forward motion. Either forward motion or I'm elevating. Forward or upward. I don't know. I ain't going backwards though. And I ain't going down. All I know is forward or I'm going upward. You know, forward motion and then upward, I can see everything. You know what I'm saying? So them the only, you know what I mean? Them the only camera views I'm going for. You know, when you used to play video games back in the day and you used to be able to change the camera view. You know what I'm saying? I'm either up, looking down, seeing everything, or I'm just going forward, man. Boom. Focus on what's ahead of me. That's it. I don't care nothing about going backwards. I don't care anything about that. You know, they tell you, boom, we ain't worried about that. You know, that stuff didn't happen. You survived it. So boom, what you gonna be doing going forward? I survived all that stuff that happened to me. I survived it. So why am I dwelling on it? You know what I'm saying? Why am I dwelling on it? That ain't gonna do me any good. So it'll make me more miserable. And then if I choose to be more miserable, guess what? I'm gonna attract those type of people to me. You know? So it's just gonna be it's gonna be a bunch of miserable energy surrounding me at all times. I'm cool. People always ask me about how I be dealing with death so good. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I might have one of the darkest views on people around me dying, but it is what it is. You gonna lose people. That's one of the guarantees of life. Please go find me somebody that's guaranteed to be here physically forever. That ain't happening. That ain't a reality. I'm gonna lose people. And I don't know how, I don't know when it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen though. So I'm prepared for it at all costs. At any moment, somebody I know, somebody I rock with can be gone. It happens just like that. It happens just like that. You know? So if I had good moments with the person, I'm gonna celebrate the good moments. You know? Flat out. I'm not about to say I can't sit around and mope about it. I can't sit around and think about it all day. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I don't want people doing that when I'm gone. None of that. So I'm not gonna do that for people. You know, I celebrate your life. You know, and I understand things about energy and the transformation of energy. So it is what it is. Yeah, it was messed up how you went, but it is what it is. We celebrate. I'm celebrating. You know, I'm doing things in honor of you. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you living vicariously through me at this point. Ain't nothing to be sad about. Ain't nothing to be depressed about. You know, I know that's easier said than done, but it is what it is, man. We got things to do. We got things to build. And you allow yourself to get in a state to the next thing you know, you're going to lose more people and that state just going to get worse. And again, when you entertain that state for too long, you are destroying your health. And now people are going to be mourning you. Like, come on now. We got to get to it. We got to shift our mindset out here, man. We got to be strong out here, man, because we're going to be faced with things in life. When you deal with evolution, they tell you survival of the fittest. That's a fact in life. That's a fact in life. Survival of the fittest, man. You have got to be strong out here, fam. Gotta be. That don't mean don't deal with certain emotions. You know what I'm saying? But we can't dwell on them. We can't stay with those emotions. We can't do that. Can't do that. Take your time out to grieve, but now it's time to get it cracking after a certain point. Because that's what the person would even want you to do. That's what the person would want you to do. But again, only the strong survive. Unfortunately, this world don't care about, listen, the world, all that doesn't care about you, whatever state of mind, like you grieving and none of that. The world ain't gonna have pity. You working a job, y'all done been on these jobs. At some point, they gonna need you on this job to perform. If you got a business to run, man, you can't sit around and mope all day. You got to run the business. So the world doesn't really care about any of that at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta, man, listen, we gotta get to it. We gotta change our perspective on these things that's going on around us, or else you're gonna lose out. You sit around and mope for too long, you got a business, that business ain't gonna run itself. You finna lose your business, about to lose your income, gonna lose your job. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta learn how to deal with these things better, not suppress them, but we gotta change the way we view what's going on. Straight up, gotta change the way we view it. Because again, this stuff gonna happen. You gonna lose plenty of loved ones. It just ain't gonna happen one time. It's gonna happen 2 times. By however long you live, the longer you live, the more people you're gonna lose. It's gonna happen. That's just what it is. I'm the youngest sibling, so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna have to bury everybody. That's a reality I done face. Like, people don't like to talk about it, you know, especially black folks. That's why people ain't got life insurance policies, because people don't like to talk about death. I don't have no problem with it. I'm the youngest sibling, so in my mind, I'm supposed to outlive everybody. So at some point, I'm gonna have to bury everybody. I done already accepted that. If the natural order, if everybody goes accordingly, then I'm supposed to bury everybody. I'm the last. I'm supposed to be the last one out of that immediate family. It's supposed to happen like that. I've accepted that. It may not go that way. It may not go that way. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is how I'm processing things. This is how I'm able to deal with things. This is how I'm able to cope. This is how I'm able to push forward. This is how this stuff doesn't impact me, doesn't impact my performance. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to get right to it. And no, I ain't holding stuff in, striving to be strong. Just I view things differently. Fam, I haven't been studying the esoteric religions. I haven't been studying all this type of stuff to not change my perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff, those texts, that information, it told me how to view death. So I listened. I emptied the cup, man. I changed my perspective. They told me I didn't watch my ancestors have so-called funerals and they dancing at the funerals. They celebrating. I didn't seen the celebration of life. What we say a funeral is supposed to be. I didn't watch some of my African ancestors do that. They dancing at the joint. The mugs in the casket, they dancing. I seen this. I'm like, all right, man, let me change up how I view all of this. My peoples know how this is supposed to be viewed. Let me tap in with them. Let me adopt that mindset. And there we go. Chaos Reign, what's happening? The wacky world of OTV, what's happening? Kenyatta, see what I'm saying? And I done been in plenty of situations like that. Man, y'all, they don't care. You know, and my condolences on all that. But they don't care. They don't care nothing about it. They need to know when you coming back to work. Some of them might act like they care, but at the end of the day, they be like, man, you going too long. We need you to come back. We're gonna have to replace you. You know what I'm saying? You leave these jobs too long, they're gonna replace you. I like facts. All they care about is their bottom line. They need to produce. And if you not there to produce, they will replace you. Like they will do that, fam. They will do that. And even if you got your own business and it's a service oriented business, man, your clients ain't gonna wait around for you to get it together. Man, if you've been listen, if I'm a trainer and I got a gym and some stuff that I don't allow some stuff to knock me off my square and I've been missing for 6 months, man, folks gonna find another gym to go work out at. They might feel bad, like, dang, man, dude down bad, but I gotta work out. They don't care. They're not finna wait. They're not finna wait for me to get my mind together for them to get in shape. Like, no. And I wouldn't want them to do that. But people gotta move. People gonna move on. Your job gonna move on. Your clients gonna move on. Straight up. Ain't nobody gonna sit around here and wait for you to get it together. Like, that ain't how the world works, fam. Again, survival of the fittest. That ain't the way the world works. So again, instead of you suppressing all this, man, you gotta find a different perspective, man. You know, study death and learn how to view it in a different light to where it's not to where it don't got you feeling all bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna take your life to the next level, man. When you start to study and understand death and you come to grips with it and what it really is, at that point ain't nothing gonna stop you. Like when you able to embrace a certain type of concept of death, a different concept of death, ain't nothing gonna be able to stop you, fam. Ain't nothing gonna be able to stop you. Straight up. So study death, tap in, study death, study life. It's all connected. You know, death is life, life is death, man. All of that, man. It's all connected. There will be no life without death. There will be no death without life. You know, so again, it's the yin and yang. So when you study one, you studying the other at the same time. You know, death is a part of life. It's not separate. It's a part of life. You know, it keeps everything flowing. You know, it's a cycle of life. You understand what I'm saying? So study it. Study it so when it starts happening around you, it won't stop your progress. It won't stop your forward motion. It won't stop you from ascending to the top. Study these things, man. Study psychology, positive psychology. You know, study these spiritual texts. Study metaphysics. Study all of these things, man. That's going to elevate your mind. And once you study them, implement what they tell you to implement. And that's going to take you to the next level. I promise you. Study how the mind works. Study how the brain works. Study how thoughts impact the body. Study all of this. Study all of this, fam. Like, these are important things to study. Study it all. Again, study metaphysics, man. Study what's beyond the surface. Study your connection to nature. Study all of these things and implement what you study. Study health. And again, implement what you study, implement what you find out. Study success. Study the people that can accomplish what you're striving to accomplish, and then some, and implement what it is that they've done. Put your own twist to it. Do these things. And there's no way your life will be in an unfavorable position once you do these things. No way. Study neuroscience. Study all these things, man. Get in tune with the mind, fam. Get in tune with the mind. Instead of all this other garbage nonsense that's doing nothing but poisoning the mind. We ingesting poison on a day-to-day basis. Wonder why we sick. Wonder why we diseased. Wonder why we upset. Wonder why we sad. All that. Because that's what we ingesting, man. We ingesting that poison. We ingesting that sadness, that madness, that frustration. We ingesting that. You know, you ingesting that, so you become that. So start ingesting some success, some positivity, some psychology, the subconscious mind, the superconscious mind, nature, health, plant-based eating, whatever. Study these things, man. Study these things that's mentally fulfilling. That's what you should be entertaining. You know, read about detoxing, cleansing. Read about the world outside of you, man. Get in tune with what you see outside. Study the animal kingdom. Study these trees. Study everything about nature, fam. And it's gonna tie back to you. It's gonna tie back to you. Then you become in tune with nature. Now you definitely mastering your universe at that particular point. You tapped in. Not only are you mastering the mind, but you mastering nature, which is connected to the mind, man. You master of the universe right there. Straight up, man. We wasting time with a lot of the stuff we entertaining. Again, walking around like we got 9 lives, as they say. Man, nah. That's all speculation. All that stuff is speculation. All of that stuff is theory. All I can tell you right now is that we got one shot at this thing. All that other stuff, that's speculation. We can't guarantee that. It's a theory. All that stuff is theory. Oh, this is what happened after you. Theory. We don't know any of that to be factual. But what we do know is we here right now in the present. This is our shot. So I'm living like I got one shot at this thing to get it right, to do what it is that I need to do to leave a legacy. That's how I need to be living. And they tell you, again, to live each day like it's what? Your last. That's how we need to be living. Not living like I'm about to come back in the form of a turtle. Nah, I ain't got time for that. That's a theory. That's speculation. Speculation. Oh, I'm going to get my pie in the sky and I'm going to be in speculation. It's a theory. We don't know any of this to be factual. It's all theory. I don't entertain these theories. You know, I don't know what happens after I die. I haven't died yet. So I'm not speaking on that. I'm focused on living. And I'm focused on making an impact while I'm living. And again, I'm living as if this is it. It's my one shot. I got to get it right. There's no other option for me. There's no other option. I don't have any other. I got to get it right this time. Got to get it right. We living like, again, we got multiple shots at this thing. All right, I don't get it right now. I'm gonna come back in this same form. Nope. You don't know that. You don't know that. So the last thing you want to happen is for you to be lying on that deathbed and you ain't did anything. They said that, man, I forgot the name of the book, but they said that. There's a cat that interviewed a bunch of folks on their deathbed. And that's what they said. Their biggest regret in life is that they didn't do a bunch of the things that they had in their mind they wanted to do. They put their desires, they put their passions, the back burner, to satisfy and appease everybody else. And when they was on their deathbed, that's the one thing that most of them regretted. They failed to do the things that they wanted to do in life. And they was on their deathbed, and that was their main regret. Don't let that be you. Don't hit your deathbed. You talking about, man, I wish I would have started that business. I wish I would have went into this field. I wish I would have said something to that chick over there. I wish I would have did X, Y, and Z with my kids here. Don't do that. Don't let that be you. You want to you want to get to that deathbed. If you make it to that point, you want to get to that deathbed, be like, man, I did everything I said I was to do. I'm good. The legacy is set. Everything I wrote down, I did it. What Nas album say? It was written. Everything I did, I wrote my history in advance. Everything I put down, I did. You don't want to be going to that deathbed with a ton of regrets. I mean, it's a bunch of simple things you could have just did, but you was being lazy. You was being scared. So you about to go to your deathbed and you about to clock out and you regretting doing some, like not doing some things because you was afraid. You was afraid to take a risk. That ain't no way to go to me. That is not a way to go. That ain't a way to go to me. I refuse to go out like that. I refuse to be on my deathbed talking about, man, I wish I would have did this when I was 35. But I mean, I was afraid to do it. And now I done got to 95 and I'm clocking out. And now that ain't a good way to go. That ain't a good way to go, fam. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. Write the stuff that you want to do down and do it. Conjure up the plan. Do it, fam. Don't make no excuses. Don't live in fear. Write down what's most important for you to do in your life and see to it that it happens. Focus on that list every day. If you got 10 things that you need to do before you clock out, write them 10 down and focus on them every day. And mark them off as you do them. But you better get them things done. Straight up. Don't give yourself any other options. Don't act like you coming back in another lifetime to complete the list. That ain't happening. It's a major chance that that's not happening. Air view, what's happening? So again, whatever it is you feel like you need to do in life, write them down. Man, I got thousands of these note cards. Write them down, man. Write them down. Man, I'm always jotting ideas down. Just write the stuff down, fam. Write the stuff down. Write this stuff down, man. I'm telling you, I stay with some note cards, man. I stay writing stuff down. Look at, I just got note cards everywhere with this stuff written down on them. I'm always writing. I'm always in the act of manifesting, man, through writing stuff down. Man, it's powerful. Man, when you take something, you take the time to write it down, man, it's powerful. So I stay with some note cards, man. Just write things down. You can get the sticky notes. Write things down. Stick it in your mirror, somewhere you're going to see it every day. I'm always doing that, man. I stay bringing things into existence via writing it down. I think it, then I take a note card and I write it down, man. That's how you born. Then I speak it. I repeat it daily basis, whatever I need to bring into existence, man. It's simple formula. Quit making it complicated. You want something to happen, you think it, you put it on some paper, and you speak it consistently. Anytime you're in doubt, write something down. Write something down. Put it on a little note card like so, little index card. Fold it up. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your purse. Anytime you have moments of being down, take out that paper and read what it is that you wrote to yourself. Read the affirmation. Read the goal. Whatever it is you got down on the index card. Anytime you feeling down, take it out your pocket, take it out your purse, read it about 5 times. Watch your mood elevate. Watch everything shift. But the problem is we don't have anything written down. You know what I'm saying? We don't have anything written down. No, write it down, fam. So when you reach those moments, pull it out. Pull out the card. Like that, man, I feel that wave of negative energy coming. Let me pull out my purpose card. Let me read this purpose to myself 10 times until those thoughts go away, because that's what's going to happen. Because again, you can't entertain 2 thoughts at the same time. That's the laws of physics, you know? So again, those 2 thoughts can't occupy the same place or same space at the same time. You know, so when you feel that wave of negative energy and you take out your purpose card, which is positive energy, the negative energy got to leave by default because they can't occupy the same space at the same time. So that's how you get rid of that negative energy. Pull out my purpose card. Let me read that. Negative energy gone, because I can't be in a negative state of mind while I'm reading something that's positive. Goes against the law of physics. You know, the universe gave us the laws to succeed, fam. All we got to do is follow them. Universe gave you the law of physics, fam. So again, I feel this wave of negativity. Got my purpose card. Let me read it. I'm gonna just read it over and over and over, over and over and over. And I keep reading it. The thoughts gone. I done forgot what I was even negative about. I didn't forgot what the problem was, because I pulled out my purpose card. I pulled out some affirmations that I wrote to myself last night, and I read it 20 times. Now I didn't forgot what the problem was. And it wasn't too major, because I didn't forgot. That's how you do it. That's how you neutralize and counter all of that. That's how you do it. But again, repetition. You have to do that though. You have to do that daily. You have to do that consistently. And you can't miss a day. Anytime and every time you feel that wave coming, take something you have written down that's positive about yourself. Or if you haven't written anything down, this is another practice. When things get negative, take out a card or take out somewhere you can write and just start writing things you're grateful for. It's another way to do it. Again, use the law of physics to your advantage. Two thoughts cannot occupy the same space. Two things can occupy the same space at the same time. So again, if I feel this negativity coming, well, what do? Let me write out something I'm grateful for, because I can't be negative at the same time while I'm being grateful. It can't happen. It's impossible, fam. I can't be negative at the same time while I'm jotting down things I'm grateful for. Can't do that. Again, you're going against the law of physics. You can't win with that. You can't defeat the laws of physics. It's impossible for you to be negative while writing things you're grateful for. Can't do it. The only way that can happen is if you are writing things down that you are ungrateful for. That's all. That's it. That's it. So use these universal laws to your advantage, man, and quit making things hard on yourself. Listen, the more negative you are, the less you do these things that I'm saying, the harder you making it on yourself, fam. Work smarter, not harder, fam. You already got something written down. Boom, you making it just that much easier, fam. All right, I ain't feeling right today. Let me read this. Boom, boom, boom. 10 times, 20 times, I'm just feeling better reading it. You know what I'm saying? Let me do that. It's making my life easier. Instead of having to try to go find the videos to motivate me, find a song to motivate me. No, I got this card already ready. Stay ready so I ain't got to get ready. I'll just pull it out of my pocket, pull it out of my purse. Got it, boom. I ain't got to go find anything. I ain't got to go search. I got it on me. Got it on me. And then when you write stuff down, sooner or later, you're going to commit it to memory. So then I'm going to still have it on me, but I don't got to pull it out because now I know it. I know what I wrote. I got it memorized. So anytime I'm in that state, let me repeat what I have written down to myself several times, fam. Again, using the law of physics in my favor. I don't know about y'all, but like I say, man, I like things to be simple. I like things to be easy. Again, working smarter, I like that. I don't like to be put in too much work when it comes to things like that, man. Makes it complicated. I don't like things to be complicated. So if the world has set up things for me to succeed in a simple manner, I'm going to use that as a tool, and I'm going to use it to my advantage. Peace, what's happening? Jason, man, hey. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something straight up. People really not in survival mode. They dead out here. Because survival mode is literally doing the things that I'm saying to do. When you're in survival mode, you are succeeding. Survival mode is not negative thinking. It's not being pessimistic. Survival mode is using the universal laws to do what you need to do. That's survival mode. When you study guerrilla warfare, what's that? Guerrilla warfare is when you using your environment. You know what I'm saying? When you using your environment, when you using the environment around you, when you using nature to destroy the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like you using nature to destroy the enemy. You know this setting, you know this environment, you know these jungles, you know this terrain better than the enemy. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage. They might have the guns, they might have all of that, but they don't know this area like I do. So I'm using that to my advantage. That's survival. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm truly surviving, I'm using the universal laws to my advantage. If I'm not using those things to my advantage, I ain't in survival mode. I'm in dying mode. Survival mode is me using the law of reciprocity in my favor, the law of attraction in my favor, the law of cause and effect in my favor, the law of synchronicity in my favor. That's me using all those laws in my favor. People with the negative mindset are not doing that. They literally going against nature. You're not trying to survive if you're going against nature to me. If I'm going against nature, I ain't in survival mode. In order for me to survive, I gotta flow with nature. That's how you truly survive. So we gotta change the perception of what it means to survive. Because again, if I'm putting negative seeds into the atmosphere, I'm going against what nature is telling me to do. I'm going against the grain. So these folks out here dying. They ain't in no type of survival mode. They ain't surviving, dying. They dying. Like, this is what we do. We dying. We putting the wrong food in our how we can't be in survival mode with the way we eating. All these bad dietary choices we make, we ain't surviving. We ready to die. You can tell folks, we could tell folks out here dying on a daily basis by our food choices. You know what I'm saying? By our food choices. We putting all the toxicity into our bodies. You ain't trying to survive, bro. You ain't trying to survive. You putting all that garbage fuel into your system and body. You not gonna be able to function. If you need to go run a mile, you can't do it. So you not gonna survive. If things pop off, how many of y'all can just bust a mile straight out the gate and not get tired? Man, that's survival. That's a survival tactic and technique you might need with some stuff on your back. Man, we ain't ready because we dying. We in dying mode. Every day, we just in dying mode, killing ourselves. And so if something serious popped off, many of us, we gonna be too weak. We ain't gonna be able to make it. We ain't gonna be able to make it. No, we going straight down. Bow. It ain't gonna take us long. Run a mile with something on your back, man. Mugs can't run 30 yards before they might have a heart attack out here, man. Ain't in no type of shape. No type of shape, mentally and physically. So we just out of whack, fam. We out of whack. We got to get it together. Hell, if we was in survival mode, we might actually be in a better state. Again, perception. We got to change the perception. Because we dying. We dying. And some of us are dead, actually. You know, because it's stages of death. Physical death is just one stage of it. Mentally, most people are dead already. They're already there. What they call the deaf, dumb, and blind. Mentally, folks are already there. Like, mentally, folks are done. It's a lot of dead folks out here mentally. A lot of them. And y'all talk to them on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis, I promise you. You know, so again, it's some stages of death, man. Physical death is just one aspect of death. Mental death is definitely another aspect of it. And it's a lot of mentally dead folks out here. A lot of mentally dead folks. Hey, you might have been one at one point and you resurrected. You resurrected that mind. And what some religions call being born again. You know what I'm saying? So you resurrected that mind. You acquired some knowledge of self, or you acquired a different mindset and you was born again. You know? So it's a way to resurrect that mind from that place, from that state. You know? It's a way to do that. But it's a lot of people walking around mentally dead. Mentally out of here. Plenty of people, man. Don't become one of them. Don't become one of them. Every for sure. That's one way to be mentally dead. That's one way to be mentally dead, you know. Closed mind, a programmed mind, a brainwashed mind, all of these ways. They all correlate and they all relate and connect to one another. You know, so it's a bunch that just like it's a bunch of ways to physically die, it's a bunch of ways to mentally die as well. Like straight up, you know, and a lot of people are in that state because you got you got some open-minded people who can be mentally dead as well. And what do I mean by that? You open at some point, you do got to learn when to close it, because you could be so open-minded to the point where you just allowing everybody to put anything into your mind. So at some point, you got to set a boundary, and you got to know when to, all right, I'm gonna put the lid on this now. I ain't about to be hearing that nonsense, you know. So you could be too open-minded. It's always, both extremes are always bad. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can eat too many of a vegetable or some fruits, and that can kill you. You know what I'm saying? So two extremes are always bad. It's always that balance that you need. You know, so you could be so open-minded to the point to where you just gullible. That's what we call being gullible, when you just so open, when you so open to everything. You become naive and gullible. So that's that extreme. So it's all about finding that balance, knowing when to say, all right, you know what, this person talking crazy. That's how you able to identify scammers. Like, all right, man, let me close this mind, because I done heard this before. I don't trust this cat. So I ain't open to what this cat's saying, because I don't trust it based off of a pattern of behavior. You know what I'm saying? So it's always that balance. So you got some open-minded people who dead too mentally, which we would call naive and gullible. Closed-minded folks, we call them stubborn. You know, so that's how we define the two extremes. Closed-minded, we refer to them as stubborn. Overly open-minded folks, you naive and you gullible. Both extremes can lead you to the grave, the mental grave. You want to have that fine balance. You want to know when to be open to something, and you want to know when to put the lid on it too, so that you ain't getting bamboozled and tricked out here. You know, so you gotta, it's that fine balance, man. You gotta be in there. You gotta operate that balance, like the pH level. The pH level, they ain't telling you to go to the far extreme of being alkaline. You know, they telling you to go right in the middle, like 7.4. They say it's what you aiming for right there. 7.4. We want to be in the middle. We want to be in the center. That's what you want to aim for. You know, that perfect balance, man. That perfect balance. You know, that's real peace right there, man, when you balanced. Like, straight up. But y'all, man, y'all know how it's gonna go. I'm trying to be better with my time management. So I gotta go ahead and prepare myself to head back up to this gym, finish off my clients for the evening. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. This was a good build, at least so I feel. You know, so hopefully y'all took some jewels away from it. Hopefully this energy that motivated some of y'all, and to get up off y'all behinds and just get some things done, man, and start accomplishing things, man. Because again, you got one shot to get it right. Forget all the speculation. Forget all the theories about what happens after you die. You got one shot. Let's make sure we get it right, man. But man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate the interactions and all that good stuff, man. I'm gonna tap out, sign out. Let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Thursday. Again, I don't know when I'm gonna tap in with y'all again, but hey, be on the lookout. But I'm out, man. I appreciate y'all. Peace.